For that live report, we're also learning more about the deadly crash on 91 in Longmeadow that happened over the weekend, had the highway shut down for hours. We know a woman was killed, and the crash involved several vehicles. It happened just before 3 o'clock Sunday morning. Western Mass News reporter Kristen Burnell now joins us live after getting answers on the latest updates of this fatal crash. Kristen.
Chris, according to Mass State Police, the person who died is a woman in her early 20s from Springfield. This was the scene when our Western Mass News crews first arrived Sunday morning, where you can see the damage caused in the crash just over the Connecticut border in Longmeadow. Mass State Police and other emergency personnel found several vehicles with varying amounts of damage. Here is what we know so far about the crash. A preliminary investigation reveals that a 2007 Volkswagen Rabbit was northbound on I-91 when it came into contact with the rear of a 2019 Dodge Ram pickup truck. The impact caused the Volkswagen to roll over, and the female passenger in that car was ejected from the vehicle. Investigators say the ejected victim was then struck by multiple cars that were traveling northbound on I-91, and several other vehicles struck debris from the vehicles that were involved in the initial crash. Now, state police say the unidentified female was pronounced dead at the scene. The driver of the Volkswagen was identified as a 29-year-old man from Springfield and was transported to Bay State Medical Center with serious injuries. Their identities are not being released at this time. There were also 4 occupants in the Dodge pickup truck who were then transported to the hospital for potential injuries. Now, the crash remains under investigation by Mass State Police, and we're told no further information is being released at this time. Reporting live, Kristen Burnell, Western Mass News.